do right here is go back, way back.
It's the Going Way Back Show with Money B. Classic hip hop, raw and uncut.
It's the Going Way Back Show with Money B, your home for classic hip hop, raw and uncut. And I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, producer, and everything, my universe, Ty Teasy. Say what up, Ty Teasy.
What up, Time TZ?
I feel you. And as you know, the show is always sponsored exclusively by dumerch.com and 9teeshiphop.com, where you can get your officially licensed digital underground and classic 90s hip hop artist merchandise. And speaking of which, anybody that's seen that debacle of a debate, was it last night or the night before, whatever it was, y'all know we got to get out there and vote. And when you do, make sure you look stylish, because at dumerch.com, we still have the Make America Hump Again dad hats. And we're bringing back for everybody the Vote Hump, Dump Trump. When you go to the polls, you got to look stylish. Make America Hump Again. And that's at dumerch.com. Now let me get right into it, man. My guest today, I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is the OG. I've been a fan from the beginning. You may know him from his debut album with his group, the Convicts, with Mr. 3-2. You might know him from his many solo albums, especially Something Serious, the classic that you can bump from front to back. You might know him as a member of the Geto Boys, you know what I'm saying? Till Death Do Us Part was the album that he's featured on. I mean, this is just an all-around legend. Please help me welcome OG, Big Mike in the building. Big
What
Mike,
up,
what
Money
it do?
B? Thank you for having me, brother.
How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good,
Oh, man, thank you for
having
coming
me.
and joining us, Right, and I know you heard the intro, and I just, I want to tell you why you're online, and also tell everybody, if you have not heard, or if you've never heard Something Serious, the debut album by Big Mike, you cheating yourself. That is a classic. You know what I'm saying? And that's something, and Big Mike, I actually went back and checked it out early this morning, man. It's still from front to back, from the very first song to the end. You can rock that joint.
I appreciate
Let's
it,
just
man.
start right there while we at it.
Yeah.
What went into the process of making that album?
From the time I had recorded the first album with the Convicts, I had came into the situation. I was a solo artist. The label Rap A Lot had approached me with the Convict situation. So it was like, it was more of like a stepping stone for me, even though me and 3-2, the other member of the group, rest in peace, 3-2, he's not here with us anymore. But we had became really, really tight, but I didn't give up my ambitions of doing, my solo project. So when I did get the opportunity to put it down, it was just about me getting out there, trying to make as big of a splash as I could, with getting my form of music out, because, even like with the Convicts and recording with the Geto Boys, those situations were kind of structured, like, you did what I'm saying? Because of the group already being established and stuff. So there's only so much of yourself you can do when you have to, toe the line with other members and stuff, right? And being in a group is awesome. It's nothing wrong with being in a group. But I was able to, get my ideas out there and let people hear me and see exactly what I had to bring to the game. You know what I mean?
Right. And were you like, in the whole process of recording that album, were you like on top of it, like every single song? Like, I know some artists, they enjoy the rhyming process of just laying down their raps and their ideas, and then they let the producers and the engineers do it. Or were you like from beginning to end, like on top of the whole process of how it was mixed and everything else? And I say that because it's such a well-rounded album, from the production to each of the song, like the sequencing of the songs, they go right into each other. And then I think I almost want to say is Pimp C the only feature on that album?
No, Bun B is actually featured on there on the song called On the One. Scarface is featured on there on the song it's titled Daddy's Gone.
Okay.
Um, and a couple of
Okay.
two of my homies were on there. And they, you know, they wasn't known at the time,
Okay.
but they did get their paper though. But yeah, Bun B, Pimp C, Scarface was on there.
Okay, because it just feels like you held it down, for the most part. And that's a testament to you because even though you had those great features, what you take away from that album is Big Mike. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not like, oh, you gotta listen to this album with such and such on it, or blah, blah, blah on it. We was bagging it listening to you. The Peter Man was
Yeah,
going.
that was the intent. That was the intent, Money B. So like before we actually had started the production off for the project, I had purchased myself a bunch of break beats, Mark the 45 King break beats, right?
Okay.
So I purchased a bunch of those break beats and I start
Okay.
formulating
Yeah.
I start formulating some ideas, my ideas and my concepts. So when we
Mhm.
actually kicked off the production, I pretty much wanted to know which direction I wanted to go in, right? Now I'm not responsible for all the
Mhm.
concepts of the instrumentals, right? Because the producers came and submitted tracks to me, and if it felt good to me, I was like, that's the one, right? But I was able to produce my share of songs on that Something Serious as well. I think I did at least about 5 songs, if I'm not mistaken, on that album. And so I pretty much knew which
Okay.
direction
So
I
you
had
have
wanted to
production.
go in. That's why it sounded so together like it did, right? And then when the producers came and they added their flavor to it,
Right.
it seemed like everything just fit. It really was a productive time, man. We was in the studio and they had like 4 different rooms, and I had a producer in each room, and I would go from one room, do a song, go to the next room, lay the vocals, then
Okay.
come back, leave it with them. They'll, start building to it. Then I'll come back in there, and it was a collective effort, definitely. And I really enjoyed recording
Okay.
that record.
All right. And then obviously one of the singles was having things with Pimp C.
Yeah.
Uh, just tell me about your relationship with Pimp C and just and recording that song and how he, if any, if he had any influence on you musically.
Well, when I met me and Pimp C, we was cool. We was real cool homies. And when I heard he had heard that I was starting to work on some serious album, he told me that he had a track for me, right? So he wanted me to come down to travel down to Port Arthur, Texas,
Right.
where he was at, to come record it. So, I went down there, and I guess maybe about the first 3-4 days, we didn't even record any music. We just vibed, right? Bun B, we just hung out and
Okay.
we just vibed. And when it was getting close, time for me to get ready to head back to Houston, that's when we started working on the track. And I wrote the chorus. I had originally sung the chorus, but then after we had finished the record and we was mixing it, and I thought it was a good idea, I said, damn, man, this record need a little something. So when I heard Pimp talking, I was like, Pimp, you need to come sing the chorus on this, right? It's gonna give that album, it's gonna give the song that contrast, especially
Right.
when they hear your voice on the chorus. So he agreed to do it, and the rest was history.
Uh,
We made a Southern classic, a hip hop classic. I feel, it's one of my most recognizable songs. But yeah, me and
absolutely.
Quincy, man, he was, even though we was, he was like a little brother to me. You know what I mean? And still he started coming into his own, right? Then he was his own
Okay.
man and things like that. But we was always cool. It was
Right.
always respect between us. You dig what I'm saying? Always.
So he never wild out while y'all was around and nothing like that.
Oh no,
Because I've always
when I met
heard,
him, this was before he
Pimp,
was,
Pimp,
yeah, this when we first got together, that was before he was Sweet James Jones.
okay, you
Yeah.
want Sweet James
He
yet?
yeah. He was still young Chad at the time. Yeah, he had bloomed yet.
Yeah, he was still behind that keyboard, huh?
Yeah, he was still behind the keyboard. Yeah.
Fresh out the church.
Yes, yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Now, I can dig it. And, being that you came out through Rap a Lot and with the Convicts and everything, a lot of people would assume that, you're from Houston, but actually you're from New Orleans. And, I want your thoughts on this. I think the Convicts, did that record come out in 91, right?
Yes.
So outside of maybe a bust down, I know bust down. And
Yes.
I think you guys might have been like the first cats to come out of New Orleans. Are you recognized as such, in the area, or
To the
if
heads, I
not,
am. To the
does that
heads.
bother you in any way, or what are your thoughts on that?
No, it's, to the heads who know the history, right? They definitely acknowledge the history. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wasn't the first guy to record a rap song out of New Orleans, but I probably was the first one to go nationwide, right? I was the first one to go nationwide.
That's what I
So
mean, like, on a national scale.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But when it came to my
And that's why I
relationship
mentioned
with
you
my
and Bust Down.
hometown, yeah. And when it came to me and my hometown in New Orleans, right? See, I left New Orleans at the age of 13 to move to Houston with my grandparents, right? So
Oh,
I would
okay.
spend my time between the both places. So for the same amount of people that say they love me and raised me in New Orleans, the same amount of people can boast that in Houston as well, right? So in my heart, I'm
All
from
right.
both places, but when it comes to the people,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Sometimes I have to deal with the bias from New
Yeah.
Orleans that he was born in New Orleans, but he not New Orleans. He's Houston. You know what I'm saying? And then
Ah,
when it comes to Houston, they
right.
like, you know what I mean? Well, he went to school down here and stuff like that, but he's really New Orleans. You know what I mean? So I would have to deal with that sometimes, but I think as time went on, both cities have learned, both cities have come to appreciate, the attention that I myself had shined on both of them. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I think they really appreciate my artistry now, and I think they both really embrace me as their own. So I'm eager to see how this continues to grow and things like that. But I love both cities, and I try my best in my career, throughout my career, to represent both of them well.
And you definitely do that. I mean, I've just hearing you when you first came out, I could hear the strong Louisiana accent in your voice. Not
Right.
knowing that you had grew up partially in Houston. I thought that you had
Yeah.
kind of just came straight out of that area. But how did the first encounter with, I don't know if it was with Jay Prince, or how did you end up on Rap A Lot Records? How did you end up being down
Okay.
with that whole situation?
Well, I used to when I was a teenager, around the age of 16, I had started working at the Olive Garden
Hmm.
for a second, and Tony Draper,
Okay, nice.
Tony Draper from Schwab House. Tony Draper worked there as well, right? So we
Right.
got cool there, right? So
Nice.
yeah, and I had a demo that I
Hmm.
had worked on with my father over the summer. One time I went home to New Orleans for the summer, and me and my dad got together and worked on it like about 3 songs, right? And one day when Draper was taking me home,
Yeah.
because he had a car, right? So he was dropping me off at home after work, and
Yeah.
I let him hear the demo, right? So he was like, damn. He was like, can I hold it? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can hold it, but make sure you bring my tape back, right? So
Yeah.
He had his people's John Beto, that's producer, one of the Rap A Lot producers, heard the demo, right? Tony came back and he was like, man, we need to go record a few more songs, right? Because I think they feeling us, right? So on
Right.
payday,
Yeah.
he would take part of his check, I would take part of my check, and we'll go half on the studio time, right? And go record some more demos, right?
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, so once we record those demos, you know, he sent them back over there to his folks over there at Rap A Lot. And there, I guess, you know what I'm saying, they took it to Jay Prince. And then one day, Jay Prince, you know, he wanted to meet with me and Tony. And we met with him, and you know, that's when they presented the convict situation to me, right? You know, they was like, man, we like what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
If Big Mike come and help us with this convict situation, you know, then we'll turn around and help y'all with Big Mike's solo project or whatever y'all trying to do. So that's how that relationship started with Rap A Lot, you know. So we dropped the Convicts record, right? And shortly after the Convicts record, we got snatched up by Death Row. You hear what I'm saying? So right when Death Row was starting, and actually when I was living in Los Angeles and we was recording the Convicts project that was going to be released on Death Row, that's when I got the call about the Geto Boys situation. And I thought at the time, you know, things was really cool, but then at the time, the production had slowed down on the Convicts project, right? So we was kind of like in limbo trying to figure out what was going on. And Suge was moving 100 miles an hour, you know what I mean, with the business and with other things. And, you know, Dre was kind of...
Was Pac there at the time?
Hard to catch up. Huh? Say that again?
Was Tupac there at the time?
No, Pac wasn't there at the time. This was when
Tupac there at the time?
No, Pac wasn't there at the time. This was like in 92, 91, 92. This was in the
flesh. When it was just getting cranking.
Yeah, just getting cracking. Matter of fact, me, my guy 3-2, Warren G, and Snoop were all roommates at one time. And but like I say, things had kind of slowed down on the production. I didn't know exactly when they was going to plan on releasing the Convicts record, even when we was going to finish finish it up. So, you know, I got the call about the Geto Boys project, and I sat on that for a little while. And then I decided to go ahead and do it. I thought it'd be an awesome stepping stone for me, right? Give me a platform to, you know what I'm saying, to be heard and garner some attention for myself. And so I agreed to come back and do the Geto Boys album. And you know, and things was good. Things was good at Rap A Lot around that time. And that's what made me feel comfortable with releasing my solo project on Rap A Lot. And that's how the relationship, you know what I'm saying, advanced, yes.
Yeah, because I was tripping when I was it the gin and juice video when you at the domino table?
Yeah, the domino
I was like,
table,
that looked like Big Mike. And when we used to argue, I was like, yeah, but I knew it as soon as I saw you. Like domino, mother. Slamming that thing.
Smashed through
Did you guys while you were over there getting everything together? Because I think I heard 3-2 on some of I don't know if it was some of Dre's music or Snoop's music. Did you guys actually record on any of it?
It's some of the demos and stuff that we had recorded that had someone had them leaked. I haven't heard them in years, but I'm so glad that they were leaked. You feel me? So that I can hear them again. The song that me and 3-2 and Warren G did together called "Playing for Keeps." And I think 3-2 had probably recorded at least about 3 more other songs out there. I can't remember them songs. It's been so long ago. But I do remember the "Playing for Keeps" songs. I do remember that one. They can find that.
Right, and then Snoop gave you the shout out, you know, shake and bake like the motherfucking Peter, man. Did he tell you he was gonna do that?
Yeah. Then in return, I gave him the shout out on Nuts No Glory on the Geto Boys album. When I say like my homie Snoop Dogg told me, You got to get down for your shit while you can, homie. Yeah, you know, we spent a little time together, man. You know what I'm saying? We was real cool. You know, we had some good times down there, definitely.
So when was the do you talk to Snoop ever? Like, or have you
Man,
talked
you
to him
know,
recently?
it's been a second since I have spoken to him personally. I used to catch him when he would come down to the city, you dig, and
Right.
perform, you know, and I'll pull up on him or whatnot. But it's been a second since I have talked to him personally.
Yeah, I like the way that Snoop is moving right now. He
Yeah.
represents the culture really well. So you know,
Yeah, he's definitely a spokesperson for the company, for the culture. He's definitely doing his thing. He's become quite the personality.
yeah, he has.
Yeah.
And still could bust though. He can still
Mhm.
freestyle like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that verses. He's moving out. He was
I saw that verses.
DMX was looking like a
Yeah.
DMX was looking like a 60-year-old. Snoop was still moving like a 45-year-old.
Yeah. I definitely that verse was entertaining. Was definitely. Snoop had that. He was boogieing
Oh
all
man,
night.
but it was very entertaining from that side. Now, with that relationship, why did you reach out to say Dr. Dre and was like, yo, I'm about to do my solo shit. Fuck with me.
Ah, when I had left, right, I had talked to Suge, and Suge was like, all right, you go down there and do the Geto Boys project, right? But you're gonna come back and do the solo project with us. And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
But you know, the dynamic of things was changing. You dig what I'm saying? And I was at home and I just had got comfortable with being back at home. Everything was kind of convenient for me. You know what I mean? So you know, I just stayed and did the solo thing down there and rap a lot. You know, you got to understand it's kind of like a hometown kid getting drafted by his
Right.
hometown, you know what I'm saying, professional sports team. You did. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I would still reach out to Dre, you know, and Suge afterwards and things like that. But then, you know, the Chronic was released and things start moving for them, you know, and things went to a different level for them.
Right.
So, you know, and things was good for me at the time. You know, we were still tour together. The first Chronic tour we went out, it was the
If you can hear me, you hit your mic. You muted yourself, Mike. Big Mike. You muted yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, there
we
you go. You
had
back.
lost touch. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I look forward to running into those guys again. You know what I mean? Hopefully one day I have the proper opportunity to, you know, we can actually sit down, you know what I mean, and chop it up again.
All right. So with the Convicts, Mr. 3-2. So he was, we lost him in 2016. When did you hear that something had happened to him? And just talk about Mr. 3-2, your relationship with him, and musically, what you feel that we lost.
Man, I was in the studio actually, and somebody had called me. I couldn't believe it at first, especially when they
Right.
told me how it happened. You know what I mean? I couldn't really believe it at first, but you know, once I had talked to his sister and stuff, and then everything had hit home, you know. But I think about my friend a lot. You know what I mean? I miss him. I was really upset by the way. I know people pass and things happen, but the way that it happened, you know
Right.
what I mean? It really
Yeah.
upset me a lot. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm at peace with it now. You know what I mean? And he's definitely a motivation for me. You know what I mean? To keep pushing, keep making good music. You know what I mean? All the while saying something, You know, so yeah, I definitely try to keep my friends' legacy alive with my work, you know, and yeah, I miss him a lot. He's an H-Town legend for certain.
Nah, he is, and I kind of, I put him in the category, kind of like, well, obviously he didn't pass away, but somebody like say the DOC when he got into his accident, or even if you want to go with Fat Pat or somebody like, or Mac Dre out of the Bay Area,
Yeah,
when they passed, it was at a point when they were just starting to cut through. You feel
yeah,
me? The name was just starting to really grow, and you knew that if they would have stayed around for a little bit longer, they would have been on the level of some of the people that cut through at that time. You know what I mean? You had your TIs
exactly.
cutting through. You had, even Snoop was cutting through. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Well, obviously Mr. 32 passed later, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
um, he was dope, man. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he ever got his just due nationally.
No, I don't think he just got to just do nationally. But his influence is everywhere. You can hear his influence all over the skits,
Right.
and you know what I mean, on the Chronic album and on Snoop's album. You know what I'm saying? With the I Don't Love These Hoes,
Ah.
Really Though, Big Baby, and all of that there, right?
Yeah,
So
Big Baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they picked that up from
Did he? I heard him say that in the record. Was that his? Was that his thing? I don't let him host. Did he get that
yeah,
to Snoop?
that's his thing. You know, we got a homie in Houston named Top Cat, right? And that's how he would talk, right? So
Right.
3-2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would pick up little stuff from Top Cat like we all did. And when we went to Los Angeles, um, 3-2 would be clowning, getting his joke on, and he'll be using the terminology. And yeah, and next thing you know, shit, once the Chronic came out, we heard it. We didn't know what, it was a shock. It was surprising to me. But
Mhm.
yeah, 3-2's influence is definitely on the game. His imprint is on that record for certain.
Right. And what's even on the Convicts on the Convicts album, the song that I always trip off is that the what is it? $1-900 crook.
Ah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, with the Geto
I'm
Boys.
pretty I'm yeah, I'm sure y'all sent a few people to jail explaining how to really commit crimes.
Don't say that, yo.
Like, goddamn, goddamn, you like really telling them how to do it
I
specifically.
mean, come on, coming up out of the rapper like camp, man, we was trying to give it to him as real as possible.
Yeah. Nah, that was real as fuck. Somebody in the chat room, actually my brother, asked, in the gin and juice video when you slap the dominoes on the table, was that a
Yeah,
real table? Or how did was that like made out
yeah, it
of
was like a little
leather or
chord
something? I mean,
table. It's like a little chord table,
but
little
but
table.
but was it a fake table? Because you just bust that thing all the way over.
Nah, it was a real table, but it was like a little cheap card playing table.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I tried
You
leaning
really
into
slapped that thing
like to
open.
make it look good. Yeah.
Oh man, you did. All right. So on the when you went and you recorded the album with the Geto Boys, obviously Willie D has stepped away for a minute. Um, you stepping in at that time, even if not then, was there ever any like what was the understanding between you and Willie D of you in essence kind of filling his spot because he didn't want it anymore?
Ah, you know,
Talk about it.
I never really spoke, it's like it really did, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't really have anything to do with Willie D, right? Because I didn't know the
Right,
circumstances under which he had stepped away from the group anyhow, right? All I know is I
right.
just got the call and they told me that Willie D had stepped away from the group. You know what I'm saying? They said they was talking about who could come in, right, and fill that position. And my name kept coming up and stuff like that. So me taking the position, it really had nothing to do with Willie D. It's not like I was vying for his position or anything like that. You feel
Right.
me? And I don't know how he took it. You know what I mean? But me and Willie D was like never really like close. We didn't have any problems. We just was never like, never like close. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
no, I don't know. I don't know. You would have to ask him how he felt after we had recorded the To Death Do Us Part project. You know, but after he had came back to the group, you know, I felt like, you know, I would feel a certain type of way after I, you know, I hear little things, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I couldn't walk in his shoes and I didn't know if it was coming from him or it was coming from other people that was saying it, but I was never trying to walk in Willie D's shoes. You dig what I'm saying? I was just trying to I was just walking in my path. But like I, you know, I never had a problem with Willie D. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I really hope that he never did take it like that. But I never did try to vie for that brother's position. I was just taking the opportunities that was coming to me. You know what I mean? And just focusing on doing the best job that I could do and promote myself as well while playing within a group setting. But you know, yeah, it was just a different thing, you know what I'm saying, with the Geto Boys, you know what I'm saying? Especially their relationship with each other as well. You know what I'm saying? It was just a different situation for me. But yeah, I never really had any personal problem with Willie D or anything like that.
Right. Well, I mean, was there ever any talk? Because I never, when I heard that album, by no way did I ever think that you were feeling it, you know, taking his spot. I thought, or was it ever any conversation of when he did decide to come back that you guys could all exist, like you would just be an added member and the group would grow? Or like, how did you get the news? Like, oh, he's back. We're not recording you on the next album. Like, I don't even know,
You know
how did
what?
that transpire where you were in the Geto Boys and then you were not in the Geto Boys?
Actually, before then, after we had recorded the To Death Do Us Part project, right? And immediately after that, I went solo.
Right.
Right. So I didn't really have any sought out intentions of performing with the group again, right? Because
Okay. Yeah.
during that whole process, you know, it was a different process. You know, Cass wasn't in the studio at the same time recording, you know, when we perform, it was crazy. We'll start out going on stage together, right? But then all of a sudden they change the arrangements on the show. They want every cat to go out, each cat to go out by himself. And it just never felt like a group situation to me, right? So I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'd rather
Right.
do my own thing. But when Willie D joined the group, people took it as if they put me out the group to bring Willie D back. Nah, I had already was like, I'm not
Yeah.
coming
So
back to
yeah.
do another album. You did what I'm saying? And I think you know, Willie D being an intricate part of the Geto Boys, and then him not being there, and then us having to do that album without him, you know, he must have, you know, sometimes I felt like he felt some type of way about it, you know what I mean? But like I say, he never
Yeah.
came to me with it, right? And we never
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
had to discuss it. Maybe a few years ago we discussed it. We kind of like had some, but it was about a performance, and we got to discussing the Geto Boys and things
Okay.
like that. But you know, I would listen to the album and stuff, and I would hear certain things, and I would like, man, I hope dude ain't talking about me, like, you know what I mean? But like I say, it was never brought to my attention or nothing, so I just left it like that. You know what I mean? I respect what Willie D brought to the table. I was a fan of Willie D's when I was in high school before I even met anybody at Rap A Lot. You dig what I'm saying? And also a fan of Scarface's, but I think their dynamic worked better with Scarface, Bushwick, and Willie D, right? Because they all had a special
Yeah.
relationship,
That's
right? You dig what I'm saying? And you know,
yeah.
and
To
their
this day.
to this day, and their history was together. You know what I mean? So I was thankful for the opportunity, man, and I just look forward to moving on and doing my thing, you know, and trying to garner up some solo success for myself.
All right. And then, you know, you spoke about Scarface, even though you said that you guys really weren't kind of commingling, it seems like when you were recording the album, it was kind of just like an arrangement. You go do your parts. But
Yeah.
what was your relationship and what is your relationship? I only mention it because, Face had to deal with, the COVID, you know, months back. Did you reach out to him during that time or anything like
I
that?
didn't reach out to him. No, I didn't reach out to him. I had heard about the situation and stuff like that, but I didn't reach out to it. Me and Face, our relationship, at one point when I first got to the label, right, we used to hang out.
Yeah.
We used to hang out. And I really thought that we was
Mm-hmm.
friends. I thought, we had a friendship. But then when we had started
Mm-hmm.
recording the Geto Boys album together, right? The relationship kind
Yeah.
of changed, like, you know what I mean? The relationship kind of changed,
Right.
and I was like, well, maybe he ain't never had to feel that he the competition. You know what I mean, right? Because when people think
Yeah.
of the Ghetto Boys, they love Willie D, they love Bushwick, but Scarface was always the centerpiece, right? So now you
Right.
got somebody else that you got to deal with that's not just a role
Yeah.
player. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know how he was really dealing with that, but we really didn't have any closeness, during the recording of the project. We can do what we have to do to work and things like that, but yeah, we not homeboys or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when we was
Actually, no, I was gonna say, there's a comment, and I didn't know nothing about this, but Derek Mallory, he said, ask you about, is there any truth to you slapping Scarface in the face? Yuck Mouth was dissing him on Fuck Friends. What, do you know anything about that?
I heard the song. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave that right there. You know what I mean? I heard the
Okay.
song. I heard the Yuck
All
Mouth
right.
song and things like that. And I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm sorry. I wish I could, elaborate for your man, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. Nah,
Yeah.
they gonna ask you. It's
Yeah, I
your
know they're
right.
gonna
You feel
ask. Now
me?
listen. Me and Scarface, I don't consider us homies because we don't hang out or nothing like that, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Right? We don't hang up. We're
Right.
more colleagues than anything. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna sit up here and fake it or nothing like that. But I do respect him as an artist. Feel me? He's a bad
Right.
motherfucker when it comes to that pen. And you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
cold blooded when it comes to that thing right there. You know what I mean? So I do respect him in that sense and stuff. But do we hang out or we always, kicking in stuff like that? Do we go out to eat, have drinks? None of that. You know what I mean? I hardly even see him.
And I'm glad you said that because a lot of people think that this music game is unlike other work environments. Sometimes you work with people that you don't necessarily choose to hang out with. It's just
Yeah.
it's a work environment. It's a work situation. You come in, you do your job, and when you're done, you spit off and do your thing. And I see you at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And it's
that's
no,
that.
it's
You know,
no,
famous
no,
beats.
no. Yeah, it's no problem. But it just ain't your type of guy. I've actually been involved with certain similar situations, so I know exactly what you're talking about. While we got everybody in here, man, let's talk about the new record.
Already.
Finish the job. Tell me what that title means to you and what you hope to accomplish with this new album that everybody should go out and get right now.
Well, people that know Big Mike, what I'm saying, pretty much know my general history, right? I was doing my thing, like you said, with the Convicts, and I got my opportunity with the Geto Boys, and then, my solo career had took off. But partly right when I was about to meet that point where I was about to bubble, right? When I was bubbling, I had a situation with the label. We had some disagreements about the business, things got a little messy, then they got ugly. You know what I'm saying? It led into some gangster shit, right? For my part in it, I wound up having to go serve some time. And so the growth of my career was stunted, right? at that point. You feel me? So,
Yeah.
you know, and it's been a journey during my incarceration, coming back home, having to completely start over again. You know what I mean? At the same
Right.
time, reintroducing yourself into your children's life and trying to pick up and make up for that time lost. You know, 4 years within a child's life is a long time. You know what I mean? Right? And then getting reacclimated back into
Absolutely.
society, trying to find my path in the music again. You know, it's and then living
Right.
life, allowing God to take me through life, and you know, and I still have to live life, right? We all blessed with this thing called life, so that's the main thing. And and now, you know, I feel whole. I'm enjoying this peace. Um, my purpose has been defined, and you know, I'm sounding better than
Right.
ever. You did. So I was like, yeah, now it's time to pick that thing up
Absolutely.
properly and finish the job. You did. Hence the title of the album.
I love it.
Yes.
And you know what I love about it is, you know, you can see the growth. Like for one, once again, it's it's musically sound. And I love that you didn't, like, you kind of, it's almost like you stuck to the formula that worked. It because it feels like the now of what you were doing then. And that's everything that a Big Mike fan would want. And then the other thing that I want you to speak on is, you know, and tell me if this makes sense to you, but I'm listening to what you're talking about, and I can hear in your music that you're basically the same person, but with a different message, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I could tell you still that guy, but instead of talking about how you knocking down everybody else's hoes and whatnot, with that same fever, you just talking about the situations of now and talk about that growth and what, you know, and was it a tough decision to be like, man, I got to be the same Big Mike that they know, or can I be really this Big Mike because I know so much more?
Well, I think my fans always appreciated my honesty in my music, right? You know, I would be talking about baby mama
Right,
problems and heartbreak and all of that when it wasn't cool for a gangster rapper to talk about those things. You feel me? And
right,
especially
yeah,
when it comes to social issues and stuff as well. And so I think my fans have always come to appreciate that honesty, you know what I mean? That honesty from me. But
right,
I knew that coming back out, people know obviously I'm older now. You feel me? Right? So definitely,
as we
yeah,
all
you
are.
can't come out talk about what you was talking about in the 90s. I don't even feel comfortable listening to some of the songs that I recorded. And some of the songs that I recorded ain't as bad as some of the that came out in the 90s, right?
Hey man, I
Right?
was listening today. Right,
Exactly. So, but it's about being, it's about you know, growth. It's about being growing up and maturing, right? Because you have a lot of people that grow up physically, right? But they don't mature along the way. And I
yeah,
knew that I didn't want to do that to my fans. I knew that they appreciated the honesty and they respected me for that. So I wanted to give that to them. And I knew the only way to give that to them is I was gonna have to get out into the world and live life and let life do its thing, right? Present me with
right,
the topics and shaping me, molding me,
yeah,
putting me in the circumstances and in the situations. You dig what I'm saying? And that's when the best lyrics come out, especially for a
right,
grown man. You feel me? Especially for a grown man. So I thought about it.
yeah,
Like, you know what? It's a bit of a challenge, right? Given because people, hey, the people finicky, right? They be like, man, nah, we want that some serious Big Mike,
uh,
right? The people are finicky. So I was like, you know what? I like a
yeah, can't
challenge.
have it.
I like a challenge. I'm like a mad scientist off inside that studio, right? I'm gonna keep tinkering and tinkering with the formula until I get it right. And I was like, it's a challenge, but I was up for it. And I wanted to I wanted to make it blend where they getting that foundational mic, but also they getting that growth. Because I don't think they would
Right,
respect me if I came out fabricating a lot of the poetry. You know what I mean? I think that would have hurt me. They would not respect that.
Yeah.
I myself as an artist wouldn't allow myself to do that. You know what I mean? So I just am thankful that I
Yeah.
am the type of artist that the fans allow to grow and they appreciate, you know what I mean? The honesty and the time that I take on the music, you know. I think Pac had it like that for a while as well. You know, they really appreciated his honesty and his vulnerability. You know what I mean? At the same time, while he was a hard driven figure as well, you know. So you have to be
Mhm.
careful with that responsibility. That is a responsibility as well. So, but yeah, Money B, I just wanted to let that maturity show and just spit from a grown man point of view. While keeping it entertaining, right, and displaying the skills, right,
Yeah.
all of the traditional rap
Oh
elements.
yeah.
So that was the challenge. You know what
You
I
got
mean?
it. You
But
got.
I was up for it, man. I think I did a good job. I ain't trying to blow my own horn, but
Hey, the album is dope, man. Finish the job. I tell you the songs that stood out to me. Roll Out,
right,
right? Everything is everything. And then
right.
of course, I talked to you earlier about it, but Mud on My Jeans, just because I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh shit, I think I hear some Zydeco in it.
Yeah,
And a
yeah,
lot
no,
of people, if you're not from Louisiana and the Gulf Coast, you don't know what Zydeco is. So explain to people what that is and how did that end up in your music? And the only reason I know is because my mother-in-law, she's from Louisiana and she listens to it day and night. She always be like, you need to rap off some of this. And
yeah,
finally I heard somebody rapping off of some of this. Talk about it.
yeah. Well, Zydeco is a traditional Louisiana music, heavy with the accordion, that instrument, right? Heavy on the accordion, and
Right.
it has it comes out of the Cajun culture, right? But Louisiana is a big melting pot, right? So
Absolutely.
the blacks, they get their hands on it and they put their twists on it, but everything still, it all has the same roots. It all comes from the same branch. And it's a lively dance music. People love to dance to it. You know what I mean? And yeah, yeah. And it's just heavy on the accordion, but I definitely wanted to capture that sound in the mud on my jeans. I wanted to do a song that wasn't just particularly, the tradition, hip hop, but I wanted to tie it in together. So we grabbed a lot of traditional Louisiana elements and added into that song. On the whole album as well, the album is heavy with the blues. It got gospel elements. Folk
Yeah.
elements,
Heard it.
R&B elements, jazz, right? Hip hop. I just tried to capture as much as that black music foundation, being that I'm from New Orleans as well, and it was made available to me. And I wanted to make sure that I
Mhm.
implemented all of that into the album to give it, you know what I mean, an distinct sound. And I don't know, it's got its own identity to me. You know what I mean? And I'm loving it. I can't wait to see it grow once it gets
Right.
out there to the people. But yeah, I worked pretty hard on it, Money B, and I just wanted to have sound that was that represented my geographical location, right? But also
Right.
broaden our horizons. You know what I mean? And far as like musically, I wanted to present my folks with a different sound as well. You know what I mean? A more refined sound. I think that hip hop artists should be treasured like rock and roll artists or artists from any other genre of music. You know what I mean? Are treasured and their works are
Absolutely.
taken
Yes.
seriously, right? So I wanted to do some works
Right.
that are taken seriously outside the realm of fun and dance music and just rap music. You know what I mean? And I think that I was like, man, so I'm a rapper, but I'm a serious artist. So I wanted to make some music that had a serious vibe to it, and I wanted to keep the topics, I want to keep the topics. I want to keep the topics full of substance, but I don't want to confuse the people and have the people thinking, oh, it must be a gospel album or something like
Nah.
that, because it's not. It's not. You know, I look at it like it's just real conversation. You know what I mean? Over some dope beats, delivered in a dope way. You know, and I'm really satisfied with the project, and I can't wait for the people to get it and really enjoy it. You know, because it
Now,
motivates me to keep pushing.
is it available? Is it in digital stores now?
Yes, it's available right now. We've been promoting this available. It's online right now. So I actually saw it on Apple Music and a couple of other sites. So it's definitely going live right now. The people should be able to find it. Definitely. They search
All
for
right.
Big Mike, finish the job. They'll definitely be able to find it.
Now, is there do you have any social media platforms where people want to know more about it? They can reach out to you or reach out and find out, like your Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
YouTube, all that. Just tell
Man,
people.
they can get at me right now. They can get at me on the gram at OG Big Mike. For all the Facebook heads, they can get at me at the OG Big Mike. So yeah, that's the ones that I'm pretty much active on right now. You know, Money B. I see these cats, everybody got so many different social media, you know what I mean, profiles. I can't
Right.
handle all of that. You dig what I'm saying? So I try to at least
You just
stay
need
on
a few.
ones.
Nah, it's good. It's good. I want to congratulate you and commend you on a great album. Like I said, I heard it for the first time this morning. I'm definitely gonna be banging it. In the
Hey,
in
that
there.
means a lot, Money B. Listen, Money B, that means a lot, man. Hey, listen, I was down with the Digital Underground when I was in high school, bro. I know I'm full of gray
Nice.
hair right now. You all clean shaven, looking like a
I
baby.
know you're making me old right now. You know that, right?
You did. But listen, man, big fan of yours, bro. You, Shot G, man, y'all grew me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all grew me, man. Y'all just don't understand. I had VCA. I used to be recording you on the VHS. You did? And then, man, one day I just happened to be, I'm on stage. I think I was in LA. And Shot G came up on the side of the stage. And he was like, Big Mike. I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Oh, Shot G. And he was the one who introduced me to Pac for the first time. He was like, you ever meet Tupac? I was like,
Okay.
no. He was like, man, you got to meet Tupac. For some reason, y'all give me the same vibe, right? And that's how I had met Pac. And me and Pac, man, we used to, people don't know this, but when he would write a song, he'll call me. He'll be like, Big Mike, listen to this.
Right.
And he'll be going, and then I'm running through the house looking for my tablet. And I'm like, listen to this. So we would do that a lot, right? And then when we would perform together, you know what I'm saying, be on the same, we'd be on the same chord or something like that, man. We would vibe real heavy, bro. You know what I mean? Real heavy. That guy, he was an awesome spirit. Definitely an awesome spirit. I'm just not one of them guys who's going around like, man, me and Pac, I knew Pac and this and that. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the guy was an awesome spirit. I'm so thankful that Shot G had linked us up. But yeah, man, shit. Sex package? Come on, man.
Yeah. That's what's up. I'm glad you said what you said, because you can speak to this truth. Like when Pac would say, listen to this, he would spit it just as passionate the first time as he did when he was on the mic, right?
Yes.
You can see the spit through the phone.
Yes. And I tell you, man, I had somebody had sent me some writings that he had. I think it's in some one of these museums. They got some of his writings. So he was planning an album called Black Fire, right?
Okay.
And he had the titles, who was gonna produce it and who was gonna feature on there, right?
Yeah.
And somebody sent me a copy, sent me a picture of it, and it had my name on there. But I was like, oh man. And I be telling people, I say, yeah, man. I say, listen, man. Me and Pac used to chop it up, bro. We used to be spitting rhymes back and forth and stuff like that. I was a fan of his. He was a fan of mine. And then to see those writings, those letters and stuff resurface, man, it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. Yeah, it was an awesome thing, bro. But yeah, Money B, man, goddamn Money B, what's up with the music, baby? What is you doing?
Hey man, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna reach out to you though. You know what I mean?
Do
Because
that. Do that.
I'm like
Hey,
you.
because
I'm just kind of I'm soaking it in. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
there's a lot going on in this world right now,
and that's
and
what it
it's
takes,
just a
money
lot
B.
going on. So
And that's what it
go ahead.
takes. You know, you got to fall back and observe and, you know, take it all in. And that makes for the best work. You know,
Right. And
that makes for
so
the best work.
just hearing your new album just gives me confidence that I am doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Because I love what you put together, and I implore everybody to go out and finish the job. It's out everywhere. Big Mike,
Thank you.
my guy. So
Thank
man, we're gonna stay in touch and we're gonna do it, man. So I ain't gonna hold
you.
you,
Hey,
but shit.
anything you need from me, Money B, all you got to do is holler. Feel me? Mike, I got something for you. Shoot it to me. I'm going to jump on it, take care of you. It's going to be fresh. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you,
I,
Money B, baby.
I hope you know I'm recording this.
Yeah,
Anything you
dog, I'm
say
here for you, Money B. I'm here
can
for
be
you,
used
bro. I'm
again.
telling you, listen, I recently got a chance to record with Daddy Yo from Stetson Sonic, right?
My guy,
We
right?
did an awesome song together, bro. I was thrilled, bro. I used to be listening to
Man.
Stetson Sonic when I used to be running around snatching jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, I was thrilled, bro, to have work with cats that I looked up to that helped shape me musically. You know what I mean?
Word.
And I'm telling you, doing this interview with you, man, I'm so thankful right now, man. This you just don't know, man. This is definitely a dream come true, bro. I'm really enjoying this right now.
Oh man, and just so you know, when you was rocking and doing your thing, bro, you was shaping us as well. You was giving it back because you was that guy. So, and my brother, I don't know if he's still on the chat, but he'll tell you, we used to be banging your shit, taking everybody money in Madden. That'd be our motivation. Get that thing going.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. But yeah,
Word.
Money
So
B,
I'm
I look forward to coming back on the show too, man. So
okay.
you know, once I start dropping the rest of this material, getting these singles out here, man, you know, I'm gonna be in touch with you and I'm gonna let you know what moves I'm making and stuff. But for all the fans out there, again, you know, if they want to keep up with me, they can get at me on the gram at OG Big Mike and on Facebook at the OG Big Mike. And yeah, definitely go get that album. Finish the Job. It's out right now.
There it is.
There it is.
Finish the job in stores now. Big Mike, I love you.
Love
We're
you
gonna
too,
holler.
brother. Hey, tell your
All
wife I
right,
said
fam.
thank
I'll
you,
talk to you.
man. Thank you. Thank you
Oh
to
yeah,
the
she hear you.
yes.
Easy.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm about to go give me some food in.
Yeah, you gotta ship us some.
I feel you. All right, there it is. All right, fam. I'm gonna holler at you.
Okay, that's a bet, Money B. I'll be in touch with you, brother. Holler at me
All right, man. Take care. I'm gonna talk to you.
later.
Tantizi, your mic was off. Bring it back in.
Here I
Yeah,
am.
man. So OG Big Mike, and I meant every word I said, man. Big Mike was a big influence. When that Some Serious album came out, we was jamming that thing like non-stop. And then he popped up on the I think he might have been he was on the Geto Boys album first. But Big Mike was that deal. So I understand what he's saying. Like, and I know a lot of people was like, what? He's no competition for Face, but at that time, it was like this. And I also want to apologize to everybody. And even if I'm frozen right now, Todd TZ, you can restart OBS. I'm gonna keep talking.
You'll
But
come back in.
earlier, you guys probably missed the first 15 minutes of the interview just because I didn't have a I didn't have a
knew
button
it was
press,
you.
so
I
it's my
knew
fault.
it.
But this whole show will be, it's gonna upload to the channel. So, for the first 15 minutes, and I suggest that you do go back because he was spitting game from the time he jumped on. So if you want to check it out, when the video uploads, go back and check out the first 15 minutes that wasn't live because
Yeah, it was
Big
good.
Mike, he's that deal. What I want to do now is get into the hip hop trivia. Tantizi, are you with me?
Yes, I am with you.
I don't hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Ooh, I'm getting
Um,
fancy with these buttons. Okay.
yeah, she got it. So I just want to make sure everybody out there before she starts the hip hop trivia, if you guys are still there,
Or can you hear me?
make
Can you
sure
guys
you,
hear me out there? Let me know,
if you can hear Tantizi, give a thumbs up in the chat
please.
room so we know. I don't want her to do it for nothing. I'm watching. I can't tell. Teasy, you have to let me know because mine be getting stuck, it feels like.
Okay. No one's saying anything.
Or am I frozen?
Yep. Well, it's going in and out.
It's going in and out. What up, Tantizi? You want to save it till next show?
Yeah, we can save it since we didn't get any thumbs up. It's like it's low numbers anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, let's save it.
Yeah, it's good. They can. All right, we're gonna save it. So make sure you guys come back next week. We'll have the same hip hop trivia question because we do want to make sure we give away. Where's it at? A signed Going Way Back Show T-shirt signed by Time TZ and Money B. We got that for you. For everybody out there, the show is exclusively sponsored by dmerch.com and 90shiphop.com, where you get your officially licensed digital underground and classic 90s artist hip hop merchandise. Go vote. And while you go to the polls, even if you're doing it by mail-in ballot, you want to get your Vote Hump, Dump Trump, Make America Hump Again t-shirt, which will be on dumerch.com within the week. It's a 5-week campaign. Get it while you can, look stylish, and support humptiness for everyone. Man, I appreciate Big Mike, Tantizi, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that came in 15, well, I was 15 minutes late, but everybody that jumped in, checked it out. We appreciated all the questions. What up, Treese? I see you. But this is the end of the show. So we're going to step aside. I want to make sure everybody remembers, vote. You should be getting your mail-in voter, what is it called? The where you can, Tantizi, where you can see who all of the candidates and all of the things that are, the pamphlet, whatever you want to call it. It's called something. But check that out, study it. You should be getting your mail-in ballot, days later if you got that already. Make sure you vote, 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 vote. You see what we're working with in the Oval Office right now. White supremacy is rampant. We knew that, but now y'all know that for certain. So
Okay.
don't say what.
This video might get.
All right. Okay. I'll mute it out on the upload, I think. But y'all know what it is, man. Just vote, get out there and do your thing. We will be back next week with a surprise classic hip hop artist. So until next time, people, take care of yourself, register to vote. Be right, man. And of course, be easy. Peace.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back.
It's the Going Way Back Show with Money B. Classic hip hop, raw and uncut.